Hey, what's good? We're chilling here in Caramios, starting the Sex Machine tour, driving to Regina today.
You just said vagina.
Regina. And yeah, driving hopefully non-stop. A lot of fun shit going down. We're crammed in the back of this beauty over here.
Face, the final frontier.
If you can believe it, all five of us actually fit in that pretty decently. This episode of The Word, we got an interview with Z-Ttip coming up. Really dope DJ, so be sure to check that out.
All right, we're live and direct in Vancouver. We're at the Commodore Ballroom. I go by the name of She. You are watching The Word, and I'm chilling with Z-Ttip. Can you give us a little fun fact about yourself? Why don't you just tell us what's going on with Z-Ttip?
A fun fact? I make a mean meatballs and spaghetti, passed down from my Sicilian roots.
Nice one.
So that's a fun fact.
So what are you doing here in Vancouver?
Let's see, tonight we're at the Commodore, sold out show, me and Bassnectar co-headlining. He and I met at Shambhala Festival, and I was going on after him, and I was like, I kind of wanted to make it as seamless as possible, so I called him. I'm like, hey man, we should do a little, something where we bounce from your stuff to my stuff so there's no downtime. I'm really not a fan of downtime in general on any DJ shows, so that was sort of what got us talking. Then, we totally hit it off, and when we did the show, we didn't really have anything planned. We were just sort of like, did it over the phone, like, hey, well, I'll do this, I'll do that. Okay, we'll figure it out. When we got there, we just both did it, and it worked. And both of our fans we found out, are sort of one and the same. But it really is kind of cool because it's both worlds coming together, me being the very turntablist world and his being the very sort of electronic bass world. So it's kind of cool.
When that shit went down in that election, we were all there biting our nails. I know you guys are doing the same thing. This motherfucker's been working so hard on the Obama support. I know you guys have too. We just did about 50 dates in the red states. We went to Missouri, Mississippi, Texas. I had the owners of the clubs coming up and saying, you guys shouldn't say that about McCain. You're going to get a bottle in the head. We're here because we believe we have the right to speak and express ourselves. So do you. It's going to be a lot easier, I think, with this new administration, but it just means all the more work and responsibility we have to oversee what's going on. He's a blessing, but he's not the solution.
Now listen to me. Anything you want, you can have. So be a good guy.
What do you want to say about U.S. politics?
Well, I think we finally got our head out of our ass, is what I want to say. I think a lot of people have been feeling like this for a long time. It just took a lot. It took Obama to rally everybody and get everybody to unite and get behind one voice. I think it's great. I think hopefully we have a chance to actually rewrite some of the history and go back and change a lot of the policies that Bush put in place that were all that were shit. So I got behind Obama though, 100%. I thought that was the guy, and his message super inspiring. All the things he was all about, the things that I was like, wow, somebody's finally saying it, getting rid of all the lobbyists, doing universal health care, on and on. There's a million things that, getting troops out of Iraq. I mean, I could go down the laundry list of things that I like about him and where his head's at. And then Shepard Fairey and I did on election night, we did the sanctioned Obama party in LA. And it was amazing. That was one of the biggest things, just because we just found out that he won. He got out, did his acceptance speech, and then we went on. He was doing live art while I was doing sort of my Obama set hybrid kind of winning victory lap, I guess you'd say. But it was good. I think we stand to do really good things. Put us back on the map, and it's about fucking time. That's all I gotta say. You can't deny. When he speaks, man, you can't deny getting behind it. He's saying all this positive stuff, and he's, how cool is it for us to have a president who can actually speak well and is intelligent and, can think on his feet. Doesn't, that to me is sort of the biggest thing. It's like, oh wow, cool. Because if McCain would have won, I would have been living next door to you.
Yeah. With all that being said, and with this, resurgence of positive energy in a really huge authority position, where do you see just kind of the music community going from here? Because I think there's been, as far as mainstream hip hop goes, I think there's been a lot of not so good music that's hit the airwaves and on the radio.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's gotten to the point where the economy sucks so bad that if anyone's rapping about like having a whole bunch of money and big cars and everything, it's kind of like, well, they're lying because nobody's got big cars or big money anymore. So it sort of levels the playing field, and what else are they going to talk about, but hopefully some conscious shit. So that's sort of where I'd like to see it go, and I think it will, because we're sort of on that, you know, coming back around the bell curve of like, all right, now we have to go back up. Like we hit rock bottom, you know, I guess financially everyone got to, you know, we lived high and now we're hitting low, but usually when we're hitting low, culture, I think, rises to counteract that because people need a way to express themselves. So hopefully, you know, people will start making really conscious stuff, get some more Public Enemies in there, and you know, KRS Ones.
What is the, you know, one or two things that really keeps it exciting for you?
Well, you know, technology is a big part of it. I mean, when we were just using just vinyl, I felt like I'd sort of hit a ceiling with the amount of stuff I could do, and the next natural progression was to go digital, and to actually, once you step into that world, it allows you to do all sorts of things that you wouldn't be able to do. So that sort of gave me, and I think every other DJ out there that uses Serato or digital stuff, it gives them a breath of fresh air, and it gave me sort of a new angle on things. So I'm sort of riding that wave for now, but you know, really it's all about sort of bringing new things to the table, or trying to interject new tunes, or tunes that people wouldn't normally play, or getting down with musicians that you wouldn't normally play with, or just trying to do something different rather than just here's you know, my set. It's you know, 128 beats per minute for an hour and a half or something. You know what I mean? It's like totally the most boring thing to me is to hear somebody play, you know, unless you really specifically want to hear that. But I like going all over the place. That's what keeps me excited about it, is not really knowing where I'm going to go.
Just having you touch on the kind of digital movement that's taken place over the last couple of years, you pretty much just stated, you know, the advantages of it. What do you see? Do you see any disadvantages for the music world, or you know, just kind of in the DJ community? Can you touch on that?
Yeah. Well, there's always going to be disadvantages to anything. You know, when you have new technology and new stuff, I think a lot of people gravitate towards it, and not necessarily a good way. That it's sort of like, oh, I can have, you know, access to any song out there. Whereas, you know, DJs back in the day used to have to really dig to find the record, and sort of a certain code that came with that, where it's like, you know, you if the guy had the record, you knew he either put in work or, you know, just spent the time on it. Nowadays, you get a lot of people who just can go anywhere on the internet and download anything, which is good and bad. But the downside is that you get guys who haven't really gone through the channels of becoming a good DJ, or flushing out the bad ideas. They just got right into it, and you get the good with the bad. And unfortunately, the bad sometimes outshines the good with certain people.
Smell going around, I'm getting pounded in the ground with this funny money still cycling around. You know the Euro, picking Uncle Sam and a who know, you know, De Niro, the root of all evil. Yeah, I know you can't stand it, being broken in the 10 Commandments, and the broker ain't planned this. Yo, this be the one them called Tech 9, Chris Calico, and this is thought-provoking hip-hop right here on The Word TV. Act like you knew. Cali, baby. Yes, sir. Strange Music represent.
Yeah. Oh. Rajon kājām gājējam vēlās naktīs, kuņils, kas ķemē savu teritoriju aktīvi. Lovī levaks, bieži garlaicības dēļ, vardarbība nevajadzīgā reprezentē kūdrets. Pāri, kas darba dienās pilni regulāri, pāri pat uz 4 alķītis vienmēr līst. Gaisma dzīvokļu logos, kas pazudīs, laternas, kas knapi spīd, tam garām slītot tukšās pieturs, tikpat tukšs pagalmi, noplukušie nami, to apzīmētās sienas, ik viens, kas izaug.
All right, that's that. Just before we go, we want to let you know that we'll be blogging every day while we're on the road. GetGrounded.tv. It'll be on the main page. Just look up the Sex Machine Tour blog. There'll be a link there for you. Link below for the site. And yeah, we're getting it in every time. Fruit stand. Baby.
Check out my slippers.